I know there's a lot going on in DC right now. This is not a calm environment by any measure. So some government employees are expecting layoffs. Others are being called back into the office. We have Elon Musk on the loose, and mortgage rates aren't supposed to come down this year. Home buyers are saying, maybe we're going to take a pause and wait this out. So this year, should you buy a house? And if so, when is the best time to actually do that? What are the most up-to-date tips for getting into your house if that's what you want to do? All right, I'm Melissa Terzis, DC Real Estate Mama. So I do these videos for you every week, and I go out there and film it all and all of that stuff. So I'm not using like garbage AI. Please understand that. We're writing this, like we sit down and think, what would we want to know if we were going to move there? And then that's what we write. So subscribe so you don't miss, wherever the little comes up. All right, so times are totally beyond wild right now. But let's travel back in time. I want to take you back to 1971. In January of 1971, Marvin Gaye released the song, What's Going On? And the song was really about police brutality, which was a very relevant topic for the late 60s and early 70s. In February, the NASDAQ was established in New York City. In March, a bomb was detonated in the US Capitol. In April, about 500,000 people marched in DC in protest of the US participation in the Vietnam War. In May, there were May Day protests of the war, and 13,000 anti-war protesters were arrested. The rest of the year had plane crashes, train crashes, Charles Manson's trial, KKK bombings, racial tensions, murders, and the Pentagon Papers were published in the New York Times. That was a wild ride, and it was only 1 year. Not unlike today. Actually, in a way, I think 1971 kind of sounds worse. I don't know, with everything else going on. Anyway, in 1971, mortgage rates were 7.5%. If you were alive in 1971 and you said, I'm going to wait until the world is less chaotic and mortgage rates go down, guess what? You would not have bought a home until 1993, when rates once again dipped below 7.5%. You would have rented for 22 years and paid somebody else's mortgage instead of your own. How's that for some history? All right, guys, who should buy a house in 2025? I do not want to belittle the fact here that there's going to be actual job loss, but so far, from everything that's been happening, a lot of it's been a knee-jerk reaction. There's also a lot of lawsuits. Some agencies are putting people on administrative leave without even having specific directives. Other agencies are sending employees back to DC, creating a whole other category of people who are going to need new homes. So if you work for the federal government or you work for an adjacent position with a contractor, and there is reason to believe that your position is in jeopardy, just hold tight. This is not for you. Don't make any major moves yet with your job situation. All right, if you are not with the government or an adjacent contractor position, then I actually want you to pay attention to this. And I'm going to scream it. Please stop panicking, please. Just because a third of the DC metro area population is worried about their job doesn't mean that you need to be worried with them. I don't want to sound insensitive here, but if this isn't your first Melissa video, then you know that I really don't beat around the bush. You should absolutely continue your search. This is where everybody goes wrong. You have to stop following the crowd. When they go left, you go right. So when is the best time to buy a house? Well, everyone always asks me this. When's the best time? And the answer is really always like last year, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. In the last year, I have also heard a whole lot of the, maybe I'll wait until interest rates go down. Maybe I'll wait until it's spring when there's more on the market. Stop it. Stop it. In the past couple weeks since this fork in the road email came out, several clients have actually said that they want to wait until everything settles down with the new administration, which is really code for what did Trump and Elon Musk do today? Right now, we're going to cover the art of timing. So timing a real estate transaction in 2025. Guys, the market gives us these little gifts of excellent timing throughout the year. Right now, we have one of those little gifts. When it comes to real estate, timing a purchase is not like as broad of a concept as telling somebody, yes, you want to buy in spring or you want to buy when interest rates come down. Buying a house because the interest rate came down and solely buying because the interest rate came down is like getting married on a Monday morning because the reception hall offered you their venue for free. Don't do that. Buy a house when you need to buy a house and then wait for the rates to come down and then you can refinance. You want to buy at times of the year that aren't popular like where everybody else is and buy when rates aren't at their lowest. Why? Because hands down, there are better opportunities during those windows of time. So mastering the art of timing will determine if you get your dream home or somebody else does. So right now, while there is a lot of uncertainty and people are scared, it really could be the right time to buy for some of you. If there would have been 10 buyers for a given house this spring and people are now on the sidelines, there's maybe only 5 or 6, but you still need to get in the game and you need to stay there until you have your home. Because this uncertainty, we all know it's going to pass. Like the federal government's not going out of business. And then all those people will be back in the market as well. And just like 3 months post-COVID, you're going to be kicking yourself that you didn't buy while nobody else was. Hindsight's always 20/20. So let's dive into some tips for buying in Washington, D.C., Maryland, or Northern Virginia now in 2025. Well, the DC area is an extremely fast and competitive real estate market. It is the most competitive in spring because it's a common belief that spring is the best time to get a home. And every year I tell people, please stop this madness because the smart ones snap up a home at like the shadow seasons, right? Late summer or fall. But if you find yourself out there this spring, let's talk about some tactics that you need to know. So if a home is listed that looks promising, you need to see it as soon as possible. Do not wait for the public open house. The sooner you get in to see it, the more time you have to plan your strategy before an offer deadline is imposed, or worse, before somebody else snaps it up. And that can happen right now because people are uncertain. And so if a seller's uncertain and they get a good offer like the first day or second day they're on the market, they might cancel the open house and that's it. So if you aren't ready to move fast, maybe this isn't the market for you. But in fact, DC, it's never really been slow, so it might never be the market for you, but maybe we just have to school you on how to approach this better. But figure out how to play the game because our prices, they only go up here. So we're back to pre-offer inspections. Don't fight it. You can either waive the home inspection entirely and take your chances, or you can just do the inspection prior to the offer. If you want to put an offer in with a home inspection, your offer is probably going to be rejected 99% of the time in favor of somebody who didn't elect to do a home inspection. I know that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm just the messenger. Please don't kill me. So if you find a home that's an 8 out of 10 on your wish list, don't sleep on it. We are anywhere right now between 2.5 and 4 million homes short of what is needed in the country. If you don't get the house, somebody else will. So give up the idea of finding a 10 out of 10. You won't get it here. But if a house checks 80% of your boxes, you don't want to wait. So you also don't have time to mull things over in this market. I get that that's also really hard for people. Even if a property has been on the market for 2 to 3 months, I guarantee you this, the same day that you decide, maybe I'll write an offer on that house that everybody's overlooked, guess what? Somebody else is also at their house writing an offer on it too. So give the seller an offer that they can't refuse. Get their attention, do something dramatic, send in an offer immediately, or send something a little over list price with like a free rent back for them to stay in the house for an extra month. Don't think you can start below list price and then drop it in escalation after when other offers come in, because all you're doing is just helping everybody bid the price up and only one person's going to get the house. So you want to be willing to just, if you're willing to pay more, you want to be just able to put that out there and show it right away. So timing really has nothing to do with luck and everything to do with being ready, willing, and able. There is no such thing as a perfect time. If you know what you want and you know when you want it and you are ready to make it happen, waiting is only going to cost you because those who wait the longest end up paying the most, whether it's financially or emotionally. So I am Melissa. My contact info is coming next. Please let me know if there is anything that I can help you with real estate related and reach out below.
Wanna hear you go.